But, I mean, Anne disagrees, Morgana thinks that it's important, and of course, you know, if we just go and infiltrate the palace without actually having proof of wrongdoing, then there's gonna be consequences. I'm telling you. That's definitely going to happen. And I mean, after all, we shouldn't be wasting our time getting into a palace if nobody's going to be... actually getting affected by this, because we have so many other and more important things to do, like, well, anyway, the point is that we gotta go harass, Yusuke a little bit more until he admits to it, because he's the only one that can cause us to actually get on with the plot line already. Oh, hey, Makoto's back. Hey, haven't seen her for a little while. And this time she's actually talking to the person that she probably should be. I mean, I guess maybe the idea was that the main character was, you know, the dumb muscle. That Mishima was probably the mastermind behind everything. And that, you know, you want to go through the underlings before trying to go talk to the heads of the organization. But considering that they didn't really get much of anything out of main character, finally talking to him. And I still think that he's going to betray us. Of anybody in this group right now, Mishima seems the most likely to actually be the long foretold traitor of the group. Not even technically part of the group. Also, spend a lot of time thinking about stuff. Oh, come on. You couldn't have come up with something better there, writers. Oh, hey, Brimley. I was just saying, last episode before Royal comes out. And also before I gotta get really, really into properly learning this language and not just trying to work on making a bunch of episodes. There's a difference between the two. Sometimes my desire to get something out overcomes the desire to really buckle in and try to learn stuff. Oh boy. I gotta tell you, it does kind of seem like Anne, more than trying to get dirt on Madarame or whatever, just wants to actually do this whole modeling thing. No. As far as I know, she was introduced as a model way early in the game, and I don't think she's done any proper modeling work since, well, like the first 30 minutes, since she was the first 30 minutes of the game when she was first introduced. Probably itching to get back to that. Ah, well, we'll see. Either way, it's a good opportunity to, again, probably interrogate Yusuke badly. I mean, he wasn't giving up any information last time, and the only person that actually tries to interrogate people is is Ryuji, who is maybe the worst person they could have try to talk to people, and yet here's what's happening. Reasonably so. Again, why do we let him even talk in situations like this? Oh, also, one of the things that I noticed is that that little pattern you see in the background of the blue and white checker, it appears a lot in Madarame's palace. It's a nice little touch. Apparently that's just a thing that he likes enough that in his deepest, most darkest cognitions, it appears everywhere. That and gold, of course. Can't even see the painting. You know, I like to think at this point in time, Yusuke's probably just so angry at the entire group right now that he's purposely ignoring them. Why did you even bring Morgana? You are basically just harassing him at this point in time. Oh, you guys are the worst at this. Morgana, you sit down right there and watch this incredible art being created before your very eyes. Why do you even ask me about stuff? It's a good thing that Morgana does do that, because that does come up a little bit later in the episode here. Now this is interesting. I would have imagined that if you were so into these games that you expected them to be using the honorifics, the kuns, and everything like that, that you would know what a Fusuma was. It's a Japanese sliding door, but instead they just called it a door there. I guess what I'm saying is localizers. You're falling behind on your traditional Japanese stuff. Whatever. Never played the game since we watched a friend finish it. Can't wait to see that ending again. Oh my god, I don't know if we're ever going to see the ending at this rate. How many hours did they wait? I mean, I guess think of it like a Bob Ross type thing. Just getting a live ASMR recording going on. You will eventually. I can't believe how long this game is. It is just... I mean, I've of course expressed some umbrage at that before, that maybe the game is a little bit overly long, but we won't get into that here. Wish Morgana had a realistic cat portrait from when he's in the real world. Yeah, that is the biggest issue that I have with the game. That's not even true at all. Why do we have Ryuji talk? Oh, if only speaking of which, if only Morgana wasn't a cat. He seems to be the only one that can actually be competent in situations like this. But he's also the least equipped to talk to anybody. Call Marty. Oh yeah, you want to get in? Sure, give me 1 second here. I didn't think you would still be awake. It's like midnight, dude. Yeah, get in here.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, okay, cool. Like I was saying, I'm surprised that you even were up at this point in time.
Well, you know how it goes. I guess I was watching, 5-hour videos on YouTube, and
Hey, me too. Super Great Friend recently did a playthrough of Ride to Hell Retribution. It's pretty great. I mean, not the game. That game's terrible. Anyway, let's get back to Persona here. So hey, we at least got some actual proof now. Thank God.
Well, it's coming from the horse's mouth, and by the horse I mean Yusuke, the only person we can trust.
The only person that is still just absolutely baffling to me. I was saying at the start of the episode, it's just like, yeah, we have to get this information from Yusuke because otherwise...
He's the only one who's a current pupil, and that makes him the most reliable.
Yeah. That makes him the most likely to give up information on his master.
Well, I mean, but yeah, see, he's giving them the information that they're needing. So clearly, it's a matter of, it's a formality now. They have to act. They have to end Madarame.
Oh man, and it's just. And of course, what happens here is literally the thing that happened in the first part of the game with Kamoshida, wherein trying to interrogate people has just led to more problems than it solved.
Look,
because again, what do you even need to talk to him for in the first place?
This kind of reminds me of like that It's Always Sunny, like that the lawyer guy. Just in the sense that like these people are being completely unreasonable and mean-spirited, like they're violating this person, and he's just like, okay, well then I'll call the cops. All right.
Yeah, I mean, no, he has a completely... They have gone past interrogating. They are harassing him at this point in time, and it's not well either. They're not doing a good job.
Their only interrogation strategy is the harassment.
Yeah. It's just basically they go up and assault people with questions on the street. Are you really learning Japanese though? Oh yeah, check out the description. I transcribed all of that manually myself.
It's the only good thing to come out of this entire series, other than
come on,
other than the joy of Brimley.
Look, the dungeon crawling is fun when we actually get to it.
Look, I'm happy to do this as fan service, but
just give you a rundown of the situation every
did you have to
episode.
watch all
Well,
I mean,
I'm
I've
not
watched
saying-
all of them since I started doing them. I think the last 7 or 8. Yeah, I've watched those. I mean,
you
I'm
got
doing.
here with enough time. Oh yeah, also yeah, we're doing nude paintings now. It's like this is our next party member, people.
To be
Like, do we
fair,
have
I don't want to defend what he's doing. It is completely exploitative, but he's also like they are like making this demand on him, and he's obviously not complying. So they're just
Turnabout
harassing
is
him.
fair play.
Yeah. So he's just exactly.
I mean, besides, given that whole shtick that he did at the beginning about like, oh, I'm not interested in her as a woman. It's like, oh, come on, you're asking her to be a model. You could at least be like,
Yeah,
you know, church it up a little
a
bit.
little disrespectful. I mean, and the thing is, like, he's not totally being unreasonable. He's like, oh yeah, of course. If you just take your time, I'm not like in a hurry here. If you want to take 10 minutes.
I think you meant more like in the next couple of weeks, but sure.
I mean, and really, is this really even unreasonable? This almost just seems like, okay, fine. If you want to like hang around,
Yeah,
then
he got
let's
us good.
We've tried. We ain't tried anything, and we're all out of ideas.
I mean, they tried running up and basically punching him. That's a pretty good bit.
Yeah.
It's like this. They're all so bad at this.
The cat can talk? No.
No,
we were
you
throwing
gotta
our
remember
voice,
that if you don't have a
dumbass.
persona, you can't actually understand the cat.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we don't have enough evidence, so you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, everything's already open and, you know, ready for the infiltration, but nope.
The way he said it, it's not gonna be semi, but full on. I mean, it's not the first time we did this.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's different levels of nudity.
I understand. Well, like,
Oh, I think you should be able to post any links that you want just because, yeah, you're a mod. That's kind of how that goes. Is there? And she's still not willing to go into the thing. It's like, this game drives me crazy sometimes. Well, so everything is just everything that we had planned here is just entirely useless. I guess we're going to have to give up.
well, hey, hold on, that's not fair, Ryuji. Madarami's no different from Kamoshida. Kamoshida had a change of heart at the board meeting
Well,
yesterday.
yeah, and so would Madarame if we actually went to the palace, but
That's true.
the Yi. I mean, it's like, well, it's entirely hopeless. Our main characters can't seem to do anything. So I guess this is about the point in time that...
Well, it would be a little bit on the nose if we were just given some information that's crucial and then we didn't
Yeah,
act
if
on
somebody
it.
just walked up to us on the street and
I
started
mean,
telling us what
Yusuke's
the plot
practically
was.
confirmed that he's done this. I mean, you know, but it is plagiarism, it is abuse.
Yeah, but
you know,
people,
he's
yeah,
kind
but
of
the
in
only
this-
person that's getting affected by it is okay with it.
I mean,
so he
and
said.
that's the thing is, it's an abusive relationship. I mean, they shouldn't. The threshold for action. They know it's an abusive relationship. They shouldn't have like a legalistic threshold for action. They
It
should
is
just
weird that they're-
intervene if they think that'll help. Otherwise, they're bad people. Right?
It is weird that there's even like a legalistic relationship in the first place. We're thieves. The entire point of the game is that we're working outside of the like proper legal system to
Outside of the whole boundaries of consciousness. I mean, or you know, inside the collective
Yeah.
unconscious. Yeah. So
It's
we're
like
not
we are
even
working outside of everything, and yet
Well-
we need to still get proof as if we're going to be putting him on trial.
I mean, he's got a fucking palace. Why would he? I'm sorry. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Look, it's only me.
Okay, fair enough.
It's always that's always the metric that I'm going with.
Fair enough.
It's like I'm the only one that needs to be put under scrutiny. Yes, the big public place where everybody can see us. Oh, and the one in Shibuya. The one tunnel.
Yeah, and that is sensible. Like, you don't want to go to the same Starbucks to do the drug deal every single time. I get that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Kind of jumped the gun on that, but hey, we got another person that just walks up to us on the street and tells us what the
Hey,
plot is.
stop bothering us. Who is this woman? What does she want? What the hell?
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, if you don't respect the time limit, you just get a scene and lose the game. Yeah, that's usually how it goes, where it's like you are given the time limit, but it's just kind of, if you're done, it's game over.
I'm actually looking for people that know Madarame's pupils. I'm investigating. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm just investigating these allegations of plagiarism and abuse. So I don't know if you guys have any information that could help me out.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist. I'm working on this story about.
I mean, first off, we absolutely do care about art, but Ryuji also knows.
And
Ryuji, you're so ready to talk about everything at all points in time. Otherwise, what is wrong with you?
She might be a cop, yo. Snitches get stitches. I'm not gonna fucking.
We are thieves, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. I mean, it's reasonable if they don't want to talk, but like, she's offering her services. I'm a fucking journalist. If you get any leads, mind contacting me here. It's my cell phone number. You guys have a cell phone, right? Maybe just consider dialing that whenever you want to feel like talking.
Whenever you need more information on what you're supposed to do. I mean, although I will never contact her. She'll just contact me. As the game goes.
After you inevitably beat Madarame and get a fucking, you know, and get him to have the change of heart, she's going to approach you again. And you're going to be like, no, we don't care about her now. He's had a change of heart. We're moving on to the next guy.
Oh, and speaking of people just coming up to us and telling us what the next plot point is, this part is the most maddening bit in the entire game for me.
Someone who received a change of heart contacted me on the fan site.
Talk to you about a person who needs another change of heart.
I've done some really solid research on your next target. I'm going to give you as much information as I possibly can. I think somebody with a change of hearts.
I should have answered why me, as if it's like, yeah, what would I have to do with changing hearts?
Why God? Might complicate things if you post a name online. Well, okay, that's fair.
That is fair.
Yeah.
You know, we even like, oh yeah.
Wait, he says his name? Mm-hmm. He just said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is.
Didn't he just say that
this entire bit.
Nakanohara.
Like, we did not need to do anything with Yusuke. We need to do nothing with Yusuke. The plot would have happened regardless of any. We harassed him. We angered him. We tried exploiting him by pretending that we were going to do modeling. Mm-hmm. None of that mattered. The plot would have just been told to us because Nakanohara was going to contact us anyway. Mm-hmm. And we had nothing to do with that. Oh, boy, this game.
Maybe not Nakanohara is contacting us about a different terrible person.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's a different Madarame.
I mean,
we still haven't established that. Oh yeah, also Ryuji similarly was just doing research on his own, which we didn't see to further the plot along. Because things just happen in this game.
Well, they happen. They're all about Madarame. Everything that anyone talks about is Madarame now. He's the talk of the town. Yeah, we know that. Why don't we fix it? What's that? Make him have a change of heart.
We don't have enough proof yet.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, there have to be. Oh my God, we didn't see an entire freaking gallery, a literal gallery of them or anything.
Well, what did that gallery really mean? I mean, we know he's a plagiarist, but what
yeah,
is
maybe he just
palace?
hated them a lot. Maybe they're his art critics.
Yeah.
You know, like Nakanohara and Yusuke were on the wall.
If they're critics, the critic deserves everything bad that happens to him. It is not the critic that counts. It's the man in the arena.
Oh, what was the new Persona 5 game announced? Will you pick it up? If you're talking about the Royal, yeah, we were just talking about that earlier in the game. I'm going to be switching over to that version of the game when it comes out on Thursday? I'm not entirely sure. And we'll be picking up from the new version of it.
God, so this is never going to end. we're always going to be doing this the rest of our lives because they're always going to come out with a new Persona game. Oh, it's Nakanohara.
Also, oh yeah, I do want to point out, yeah, that's not Nakanohara.
Yeah, so we definitely gave
Hi,
away
I'm Nakanohara.
Not a Shiko, not a Nakanohara. The one who's
Also, does the whole like secret identity thing mean anything if Mishima's just going to be... I told you, Mishima is going to be the traitor. He's just sending people to us.
Oh, he must. He's totally. I mean, what do you think is going to be Yusuke? No, Yusuke's loyal as shit. Look at how loyal he is even to Madarame. Madarame's a piece of shit. They told me to look for somebody in a Shujin uniform with a cat. That'd be us.
Wait a second. You can actually see the cat?
You may have already heard, but there's someone I want which to trigger a change of heart in.
Okay, throw down a what?
The name of Madarame. Holy shit, we've heard that.
Throw down a what? You deserved it. What?
Is the people gonna mention? Is people gonna tell us the master's secrets? Yeah.
And wait, you're Madarame's pupil? Bum 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 bum. Oh boy.
There's another pupil. Always two there are.
Yeah, it's the Sith Lord principle here.
Everything he made was claimed as a Madarame original. Wait, that's plagiarism. Oh my god, that's a very serious offense.
And we finally got real proof. No, the stuff that we got before doesn't count.
Yeah, who cares about what this guy's saying? It's not gonna hurt.
This is such a weird pattern in the game right now, where it's like, okay, first off, we're told exactly who Najima tells us who the person is that we're supposed to be going after, and then we have to watch the main characters fumble around to try to figure out who that is. And the main characters refuse to do anything for a while until somebody dies.
I mean, Ryuji.
Then they take action.
The thing is, even before this interview, Ryuji was just saying that there was a pupil who committed suicide. I mean, they knew that. They have that information.
Yeah, but they didn't have proof of it until they were told by Nakanohara. I mean, he's no Yusuke, but at least he's giving us plot right now.
I was gonna say you caught yourself there, because you said we have proof now they're not gonna hire it. No, wait, it doesn't count unless it's Yusuke. Please.
Well, don't worry, because why do I even have to ask this?
Take a shot every time people should mention the cat, but don't. No, we don't want Doc to die of alcohol poisoning. People want more content, not less.
You think, Morgana? But yeah, hey, we're not going to hear it from Yusuke himself. We'll just hear it from somebody else who will tell us what Yusuke's thinking.
If you died of alcohol poisoning, you wouldn't have to finish this series.
Oh, come on. You hate this series way more than I do.
No. I don't think
and
that's
I'm the one who's actually doing all the transcription and like editing and stuff.
That's fair.
Wait,
man. Madarame?
So anyway, yeah, everything with Yusuke was so pointless. Nakanohara is the only... Nakanohara would have come up to us regardless, and we could have probably talked to him earlier if we even just asked Mishima, who's supposed to be good at finding out information. Hey, can you find the connection between Madarame and this Nakanohara guy? We could just ask.
We can't even make the connection between Madarame and Madarame, so I think that's asking a bit much.
It's a rare name, after all. Doing another translation stream? Oh, I'm going to be doing a lot more of those. I'm actually going to go be... Because a lot of the earlier transcriptions... Morgana, I hate you so much. But anyway, a lot
we don't have the time to deliberate whether or not to change Madarame's heart.
As if it's like we were going to sit around and talk more about this here. But no, yeah, some of the earlier transcriptions didn't have like character names, didn't have stage direction. So I'm actually going to go through and like do some hardcore studying based on some of the earlier parts of the series here. In preparation for the Royal, and to see if I am prepared to start, doing translation on my own, which I don't think so, at least not yet. But hey, that's part of the whole studying thing.
Is the Royal going to be like released in English?
Not until second quarter of next year. So
okay. So you could actually do the thing that you envisioned to do with this game, right? Yeah. That'd be nice.
But I mean, I wouldn't have the safety net of actually having the... That's a good bit. I I wouldn't have the safety net of having the English version to check on. So I have to make sure that my skills are on lock.
I think you're pretty good. Even like a couple of years ago, remember your translation basically matched what translation.
The thing is, it has to be, like I said, it has to be on lock. It has to be like accurate, crazy accurate.
Well, the thing is, they give you a lot of practice with it.
Well, yeah, but it's like I was also saying earlier in the episode here, there are some bits where I'm just like, sometimes I, try to hurry up just because I want to get an episode out rather than, get as much studying done as possible. This is going to be all about the studying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, also I would get super fired if I set up OBS on my computer to stream my job. There's a lot of very sensitive information that I work with. Well, yeah, we know. It is kind of weird that apparently there are some people that just naturally attack. Persona is sometimes a weirdly pessimistic type of series. Where, for example, in Mementos, which is supposed to be the amalgamation of a bunch of different people's consciousnesses, cognitions, everything does automatically attack you immediately as they see you. And that's kind of true for the rest of the series, too. It's sometimes, yeah, weirdly pessimistic, I think is the best way to put it.
And Ryuji is like, yeah. I can't. Morgana's like, oh, I have a pretty good intuition. My sixth sense will tell me what I see. Ryuji's like, that's nuts, man, having an intuition. Can't even imagine.
Wow, I couldn't imagine if I could figure out stuff on my own. What would that even be like?
Yeah, exactly.
I did just want to be quiet there for a second as we heard Anne say Zettai. Is your job related to auditing? I am a file clerk at a law firm, basically. So, yeah, law stuff. You don't want to show that to people. Yeah, I'm still doing the group name thing. What about it? Not as good as getting on the chalkboard and then getting erased. All right, thank God, we are getting into a palace. Oh, I said before, I do like a good dungeon crawling experience, and this is definitely pretty good. I mean, it takes everything from all the previous Persona games as well as SMT games, taking and refining the press turn system to be so good, and also creating all the Persona.
Finally, we're gonna get into the palace. I can't wait to see what happens.
We know the drill. It's like if only you could have this sort of sense of expediency at any other point in the game. Is this New Game Plus? No, this is a new game and it's hard mode. So it's actually, but the thing is I do cut out all of the battles except for the like mini bosses and bosses, so
Seems you long to be in prison. Let me grant that wish for you. All right.
The subtitle for this entire series.
By the way, I gotta say this, not this Igor guy. He's just weird, but like this scene is really weirdly like erotic almost. I don't know. That's my takeaway from it. It's just like really like the way they talk to you.
Small children.
I know it's fucked up. I'm not saying that as a good thing.
No. Oh no.
They seem to take sadistic pleasure in imprisoning you. It's
oh
really
no. Thank you, Smitty.
All right. Like, I don't like this at all. I don't like this.
No, I don't like it, but I do have to point it out. Oh boy.
All right. Sorry, I really killed the energy.
Well, anyway, creating Jack Frost, and that's the exact sort of thing that I do want to create because, well, mascot character. Always got to create that, dude.
Yeah. And then what is Mabufu?
Mabufu is just hits all enemies ice attack. It's a pretty standard for the series. They've had a element system in this series and the Megami Tensei games forever that I think is based off of elemental system in India? I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I immediately go for this. In fact, right now, that little cut that you saw there was me creating the persona. You don't have to see the entire thing. I mean, the real thing that is, God, he's so filthy. Looks like he just spilled coffee all over. Anyway. Hey, no you don't, that's mine. It's only the second dungeon. Cut me some break here, Caroline. Cut me a break here, Caroline. Isn't there a city you're supposed to go back to?
What is the backstory for these characters?
Okay, so the attendants in so Igor works for Philemon, who's basically the god of the universe. He's also the anima of Carl Jung, which is why that only makes sense. And Igor is kind of like a second-hand man. He is his emissary to Earth and the person that guides a lot of the main character, well, all of the main characters in the Persona series along their way. Now, since Persona 3, Igor has had attendants, who are basically like little secondary characters who are kind of like, I think they're supposed to be shadows by themselves that are kind of like trying to become closer to the real world, maybe like sort of becoming angels in their own right, if you think of it like that. But that's my own speculation. Basically, he just has people that are attendants and they change each game.
Okay, I see.
That's way super late game. Oh yeah, there's probably also stuff that we're gonna figure out late game. Usually the attendants don't have too much to do with the plot, but there's also sort of a meta plot going on between the games that they have a bit more of a part in that I might talk to when we eventually get to that point.
We can grant you greater freedom within this prison.
Don't forget where you are right now, main character. Which, I mean, I can leave at any point in time, but...
Well, then you're not really imprisoned.
It's metaphorical. All right, strength confidant, and we're skipping right past that. Now, the great thing about this is now that I can combine 2 personae into personas. Keep thinking that it's personae. But, yeah, combine 3 personas into a super persona. Usually something that's, like, thematically similar. For example, turning all 3 of the... God, I don't know. All 3 of the seers in Grecian mythology, you know, Clotho and the other 2.
Aren't those also the fates?
Yeah, and then they turn into like the Norn, the fates from Norwegian mythology. Stuff like that. Oh. It's pretty cool, but it's also like way down the line. Okay. Some of those things are pretty high level. All right, and there's where the episode was originally going to end, but since the rest of this is a lot of dungeon crawling, there's not a whole ton of dialogue that I had to process.
Okay. So do you actually go through like a whole a lot more? Like how much
yeah, we get through until the point in the dungeon when I can't continue anymore. Yeah, one of the tutorial tips, which I haven't been translating, did say that sometimes you'll have to go into the real world to resolve some sort of blockade that you find in a palace, and we're gonna get to that in this episode.
Now, do you have to play the main game to understand what happens in Royal? I'm laughing.
Well, it's the same game. It's a remake.
What was that?
It's a remake.
Oh, it's
like what do you call? It's not like a remake. It's a remaster.
Oh.
So there's a lot of like quality of life improvements. Yeah, there's the blue checkered bit that I was talking about earlier, and
so
you'll see that
like
all
patch?
over the place here.
Like, is it? So it's just a patch then?
Oh no, it's a new game.
Is it going to cover the same material?
Yeah, it's going to be like basically the same game, except improved in some ways and like having extra content added and and a bunch of stuff like that.
By the way, that painting looks like a David Byrne, like the main one. Looks like a David Byrne, like.
That's wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, given how David Byrne is he's the sort of guy that would probably have a painting that's just wiggling on its own because he thought it looked cool. You know, like you see the burning down the house video. He just did that because he thought it looked cool.
Yeah. Or the I don't remember the name of the song. This is not my beautiful wife, etc.
Yeah, I did that as an example. Shut up. You're talking about Once in a Lifetime.
Once in a Lifetime. There we go.
Yeah, he doesn't even wear glasses, by the way. If you've only ever seen the music video for Once in a Lifetime, David Byrne does not wear glasses.
Yeah.
There's a new persona that I got here.
But he's a big nerd.
This game looks amazing. We probably won't get it for a bit since it has to be translated. Yeah, like I was saying, the Royal is going to be... Well, I mean, the game here that you're watching right now is already out. It came out back in I think the English version came out in 2017. But the remake that's coming out at the end of the month isn't going to be fully translated until Q2 of next year. So we got some time.
Well, you know,
and that's where I come in.
I think you should translate it, and I think
that's what I want to do.
And you know what? Because that way you'll corner the market. It's like 12 people, but you'll...
Oh, no. It's just because this game is like 3 years old, there's not a whole lot of interest. And also, you know, the fact that an episode comes out once every 2 months. That's the main reason why it's not too interesting. But I think that when people have renewed interest for the game with the new version of it coming out, the remaster coming out, that it's going to suddenly... that people will be more interested in. At least that's what I'm banking on.
I don't think Persona 5 is your big moneymaker, I gotta say.
I want it to be, though, so bad. I like the idea of doing translation work type of stuff. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I understand.
There's Yusuke. I like the idea of doing translation work stuff, because there's a lot of games out there that people aren't able to watch because it's not translated. So I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to follow on that sword and do it myself.
How many people want to play Persona 4 Persona 5 in English but don't know Japanese? What is that audience? Is that a big
most people that play the game? It's decently popular for like the budget and level that it's at. I did that on purpose too, just so you could see what happens. They do get to see Madarame up in the upper left corner, which is, I mean, it's interesting because Kamoshida's shadow made an appearance almost as soon as we entered his palace, but Madarame, we haven't seen his shadow yet. Oops, missed one. Madarame's shadow we have not seen at all. The only indication that we even have of it is the little picture in the upper left corner whenever I am using third eye or get hit by one of the many lasers that I get hit by all the time. But anyway, yeah, the statue still has the same inscription on there that it did last time. Hey, safe room. Let's see what this place looks like in the real world. Like a piece of junk. Yet it still has the big conference table in the middle there. Alright, fair enough. I do like the look of everything here. Yeah. You know, it's funny that we made such a big deal out of having like the pamphlets and everything everywhere. Or at the very start of this. But if you look around, there's like electrical outlets on the wall and like we find bathrooms pretty soon here. It's just like, what, no comment about that? Well, we have to comment about the pamphlets ad nauseum. Yeah, they're changing a lot of things, but we need to know what's going to be added or changed. I really thought we were going to get FMC. It's really too bad. Also, that door is really thin. I don't know. Say,
maybe this is just me, but whenever you hear you see a chest in like any sort of video game like this, do you hear the Zelda theme?
Oh no, it goes by way too fast for that. Okay. I haven't actually played a Zelda game in quite a while. Gotta get to that at some point in time.
You haven't played a Zelda game?
Well, not in a while. I've played most of the Zelda games that have come out.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Okay. Not in some time. Yeah, they're adding a new character, which I thought was going to be an alternate to the protagonist, but I guess not. I guess she's just a new character.
Oh, Sia Brimley. Probably gone by now.
Oh, yeah. Mother series translation. Why would I do that? Everything's already translated. To get like a different perspective on it? I guess.
So just to be clear, is this like a stealth mission kind of thing?
Oh, the entire game has like stealth mechanics. It's just they're not tremendously advanced.
Okay.
Just wanted to get a good look at the phone books there. Blue feather? I don't know why. Also, the textures are super low res.
These phone books match the pamphlets we saw earlier.
Yeah, well, somehow we didn't get an explanation for that. Isn't that wacky? And playing the game now regarding English subtitles is fine. Oh, I mean, the game is out. You can just go play regular Persona 5. It's just the new version is... I'm just doing this mostly so I can study. This is more of a big, huge study exercise for me rather than like just to play through the game. Yeah, entire idea was because Persona 5 was a game I really wanted to play, I would put up with doing the whole Japanese study thing, basically.
So to be clear, so it's like the Royal, is that what it's called? That's the Japanese. Okay. And then
the Persona 4, when it got a remake, was called the Golden.
Oh, okay. And then I see. So, and then you're expecting this to come out in, like Q2 2020.
That's what
Persona 5 quarter pounder.
Yes.
Okay, so
I would love if they called that.
Because of the metric system.
And it's so gaudy. And also, I don't think we could take... Well, there's a lot of junk that we carry with us all the time. So, maybe not. You started the Arcade Kid storyline? Forgot his name. I've been stuck in cutscene purgatory for quite a while right now. There's one that I want to get into, which is a politician or something like that I was told about, but we just... Too much time talking about Madarame and having people come up on the streets talking to us about Madarame and then not doing about anything about him.
Wow, this game gets a lot more interesting when you're not fucking in cutscenes all the fucking time.
I mean, this is cutscene.
Okay, I mean, it's different. You're actually doing shit. I don't know.
Yeah, you think? All right. Well, this is actually pretty simple here. I mean, you saw that there were the many little glass encasings, fish tanks around on the left and right. I don't really know. Is that not a normal thing in museums? Well, anyway, you jump up there and we got to go find a bunch of switches. Yeah, I mean, this is a very bizarre... This is a very bizarre sort of series that I'm doing here. I knew it was going to be weird. I knew it was going to be extremely niche. But it was just the idea that it's like, I want to learn the language and I want to apply that to doing LPs, basically. So I just picked a game that it's like, I know I want to finish. I know I want to play this game and I know I want to finish this game. So I got the Japanese version, I got the English version, and... We're doing a little bit of compare contrast. I also include the transcripts with every single episode if you want to kind of play along at home. I don't know. Nobody has really used it for that, but hey, if nothing else, I'm still getting a good amount of experience with the language.
There's some sort of button here. I wonder if I should press it.
I don't. It says that for every single button. Why does it do that for every single button? Of course, I'm going to press it. Just press it. That was driving me mad when I was doing this. I'm surprised that you were able to pick up on that so quickly.
It's like a sixth sense.
Oh, yeah, Panther doesn't actually rejoin your group. You need to go talk to her first. Ignore the fact that I tried to leave without you. Okay. And they do actually change up the battles in this part so that there's less enemies here. It's not... You're not going solo against the full group of dudes like you normally would, thankfully. Because that would be a problem otherwise.
I mean, where did Ryuji and Morgana go?
Oh, they're still trapped in the big laser cage. I only lowered one of the walls. Gotta go press another one of these switches to lower a different one. By the way, that's the same message as before.
I know I can read Japanese now.
Damn it. That was... it's actually not too difficult to get a lot of the weaknesses on enemies here. They're mostly weak to guns, and everybody's got a gun. It's like America.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you're actually supposed to do... There we go.
Anna's got a gun.
Well, of course. I mean, if we are in... Things being hidden behind paintings. It's like going behind a waterfall or checking behind the throne in a video game.
Yeah.
Such a standard deal.
It's like realizing that the tunnel is maybe painted on. So have they rescued Morgana? Or do they need yet another...
Oh, no. Of course not. Look at him. He's not getting out of there.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
we saw a security room earlier, and it was actually a little bit difficult to figure out where you were supposed to go for this because the prompts were kind of weird. I don't really know how to explain it.
No, fuck it. He's dead. Move on.
I wanted to so bad, but no. Yeah, so basically I kind of wandered around because I'm like, I guess we probably got to go through the vents there, die hard it, but I couldn't figure out how to get up there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're just supposed to stand in front of it. You can't jump from the other part, nor can you drop down onto it. You have to jump up from that space specifically. Feel like a can of tuna in here.
Is that
no,
what
a
he's
TV
saying?
dinner. Damn it. Anyway.
I
Well,
mean,
we
you
found the
did-
computer room, and that is... Those are some very lovingly modeled servers there. I just had to look at them for a couple seconds. It's like, wow, yeah, they got like all the cords and everything.
Yeah, nice job.
Kudos to you game developers.
And they made it it's pretty neat, like arrangement of cables. They actually took their time to arrange them in the right place.
There's a
organized
lot of
cables.
details in this game that I'm kind of surprised to see. Happy to see, but also, okay, so now we got to look at this big cube on the computer. I guess we'll just have to give up. Oh, well, Morgana, we had a good run, but unfortunately, it looks like you are going to have to be left behind here to die. Oh, wait, no.
A cube, that's like a 3-dimensional square. Thank you.
No,
Ryuji.
no, it's actually more like a 3-dimensional tesseract.
Oh, fair enough.
It always shocks me how much the shadows seem to have kind of an inner life. I was wondering how they were going to translate this from Japanese as Yoroshiku. Yoroshiku, which, there's too much explanation. Everybody start learning Japanese so you can understand that bit.
I like that you're like I noticed in the original Japanese it's saying 4649, so it's clearly like the same shit, but it's just
Yeah,
in
yo,
Japanese.
ro, shi, ku. 4649. That's something that you see decently commonly, and I think they did a pretty good job trying to transform that into English.
Are these creatures? Are they people or are they concepts?
They are. It is so weird because we mow these guys down like they're nothing, but they also seem to be intelligent. But they're created from people's consciousness, so how intelligent are they really? It's a concept that has not been explored, even though I want it to be. Of course, a lot of the stuff with the palaces and the metaverse entirely, the characters don't really give it too much thought in general. I mean, you know, I was talking about before how nobody's asked Morgana how many palaces he's actually been to or stuff like that. Nor do we actually trust that like Madarame is a bad person from stuff that we've read in the palaces. It's just... It's like it's just here for storyline convenience and nothing else. Despite being the best part of the game.
Well, you know, they should be asking Morgana more questions, but that would require any sort of curiosity on their part.
Oh, right. No intuition. Forgot for a second. Well, yeah, why not? Oh! It's a gigantic
What?
floating ruby.
Actually, I am actually incredulous. What the fuck? That's not a thing I expected a gold statue to turn into, or a gold vase just to turn into.
Yeah, and that's why I said, nah, screw this, I'm out of here. Okay, fine.
These can't fail.
Oh no, it's Chaos from Sonic Adventure.
Chaos Emerald.
It's actually coming from what looks like a Chaos Emerald.
The Chaos Emeralds.
And I've managed to get really lucky here. Apparently you can interrogate these guys. I didn't think that you could. So I just attacked it. Oh well, there will be more opportunity, I think. Just punch a vase and get a human-sized gem? Yeah, they started flying all over the place. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a totally normal thing in the palace.
You got $50.
Yeah, it's you know, they were saying earlier that you got to get a part-time job if you want to start making real money. You can't just sell the junk you get in palaces, and that is a bald-faced lie.
Did he just punch a vase and get a human-sized gem? Yeah, and then when he punched the gem, he got a ghost.
And then when I punched the ghost, I got a lot of experience and money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a circle of life. So yeah, one of the things you can do is apparently get those guys as an actual persona, and they're not real persona. At least that's what it said in the tutorial bit here. But you can fuse them to create like more powerful persona or something. So since I had that guy on his knees, I should have tried to interrogate him and get him on the team.
You're just as bad as the characters.
Well, I don't. I just punched a gigantic Chaos Emerald. What was I supposed to do?
Despite your rage, you were still just bad at interrogating the vase.
Yeah, you were talking about realizing the tunnel is painted on. I was just like, huh. It's a weird amount of science from you.
You have to go on to the 4 letters of Yahweh. That's Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, boy.
Or the Last Crusade, I'm sorry.
I don't know why I did that.
No, it's Holy Grail.
Let's just say it was another... Well, anyway, this is kind of a cute thing. It doesn't matter at all because it's not like there was any puzzle to solve or anything, but... I don't know, I hope that in this dungeon we get more stuff like this.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
It's so silly. So yeah, bathrooms, like I was saying. I did not see that this was a women's bathroom, so that's not the reason why I went in here immediately. Nope, nothing else. But yeah, no. And obviously feeling a little bit hesitant about coming in here. Even though it's made of thoughts. That's a nice abstract representation of the usual signs.
I do like that they made the bathrooms like they specifically went out of their way to just,
Yeah, I told you there's a lot of details. Like Ryuji was surprised at pamphlets being here, but there's like bathrooms that have urinals, and like there's a difference between the women's and the men's bathroom, and there's no reason that. What does that represent in Madarame's mind?
That's a good question.
Because they were just talking about how stuff represents like things.
It represents his favorite shirt that he lost.
Yeah.
It's my favorite shirt. It had that pattern on it. Now I think about it all the time because I'm an artist. It actually makes sense.
You can see him in the upper left corner thinking about the shirt.
Yeah.
It's like,
every one of the rooms is tiled with a different shirt that he lost.
Oh. There was a little sign right in front of this area that I did run into a couple times. Oh yeah, I mostly just showed that because, hey, new type of shadow. That one looked more like a woman with a clipboard. I don't know. Also, that was the first time that you could see that when you tear off the masks of these guys, it's shaped like a pink heart for some reason. That doesn't really make any sense to me. Because Kamoshida was supposed to be the lust guy, right? And as far as I can tell, Madarame thankfully has nothing to do with lust, though, thank God. But also, why did they not pull their punches then with Kamoshida? Anyway.
Oh, chalices aren't representations of the perfect word of the twisted mind, the perfect way the character views the world. That's fair.
Which is with bathrooms.
Yeah. Why do you leave Splatoon puddles every time you move? That is a good question.
I have wondered that since I started this series, basically. That was like one of the first things that I realized, where it's just like, man, I'm leaving behind all these weird magenta puddles. Okay, so there was a big cut there because I could not figure out what to do. Every enemy in this area is defeated, the treasure chest is opened up, and I was just kind of looking around at the ceiling. Yes, take it off the wall. See, even Morgana agrees with me on this one. And also Ryuji at the same time. Like, we are of two minds.
Ryuji, who cares about that shit? Let's just try.
Also, hey, they didn't give me a prompt to push that switch. Whoa, crazy. Making progress. Because palaces are spooky. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's get out of here.
I mean, it was Anne who noticed it, right?
Well, I noticed it. I had to use my third eye to find them in the first place. If Anne told me about that, that would have saved me a little bit of time.
That's true.
Just cans of black paint. sitting around here. Why? I don't know.
He's an artist.
But he doesn't actually paint with black all that much. Mostly like gold. Like, look at all these gold koi fish in here. Even the water is sparkling.
Ooh, that's neat.
The guy's got a thing for gold. So, okay, fine. There's clearly a safe room back there, but I guess we're not doing that. So much like the first palace, things get a little bit funky as you get farther in. Distortion becomes more apparent, and you start seeing the end of the witness.
Yeah.
Basically. Oh, come on! Just let me go to the safe room quickly. I don't know if there's a boss down here. Very nice. Rivers of molten gold.
Madarame's perfect world split men and women in different categories and has been at least once to the bathroom, I believe. He knows how they work and is
You can't prove that. We would need to interrogate Yusuke to find out if he's been to the bathroom or not.
How come they never show it? We need proof of this.
Well, we can't actually ask Madarame himself. We have to ask Yusuke. Yusuke, tell us how many times have you seen Madarame go piss?
Well, we know it probably
also,
didn't
I
because-
don't.
Yeah.
Something that you might not have noticed is that the door is animated, which I think is a nice touch.
Oh yeah. That's what we saw when we were when Morgana.
Yeah, when Morgana had a solo adventure.
Yeah.
So I guess one good thing came from going in there, although. Also, it's like, how are we supposed to get around that? We like jump on the walls and go in one of the windows. How else we get in anywhere?
I like that the one time they do something like that's like, oh, that's a pattern we should point, and then Morgana just says, oh, that's just beating this concept to death. I think I know what real world door that's based on. Remember this pattern, Barkley?
Yeah, it was the rightmost one. All right. Well, next time we are going back to the Royal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the game will be different, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, we're saying that there seem to be some changes, but I don't know how much is going to actually be to the plot or anything at large.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, finally I can get back here, and it was indeed a save room. A save room.